My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. If you are a serious real estate investor, chances are you've taken a crack at finding motivated sellers and finding off-market properties, and you're always looking for deal flow. We always need a flow of good deals. And if we're holding on to properties, we need a flow of capital to make that happen. And when it comes to finding good deals off-market and working through real estate agents, today's special guest zooming in from beautiful Chino, California, Shauntae Williams, definitely knows her stuff. So Shauntae, can't wait to dig into this. Welcome to the call.
And thanks for having me.
All right. Tell us a little bit about the Shauntae Williams story and what got you into real estate investing in the first place, because it sounds like you got a pretty interesting backstory.
Yeah. Well, first in 2021, I wanted to become a realtor. My ex-husband and I, we had two businesses, a nonprofit and a for-profit business that deals with the music industry, like big record labels as Atlantic Records. Mm-hmm. So that kind of went south, and I told him, I said, to help out around, I'm not a person to just sit around the house. I did my 10 years of housewife and then building business for him. It's time to do it myself. So I tried to get my real estate license. Little to behold that I knew in the background, my ex-husband was filing for divorce. Ooh. He filed for divorce in October of 2021. From that part, the marriage went downhill. The relationship went downhill. He was doing a lot of things behind my back, just to make it short. Yeah. I was being gaslit. And what happened was in February of 2022, well, January started of 2022, he had me arrested on false allegations. Then February 2022, he had me put out the house. So I got put out the house. He took the house. He took my car. He took my kids. He took my money. He took everything. Wow. So I had nothing. And I still had a lawyer. Only thing I did have was when I got put out my house, I had the clothes on my back and I had $20,000 cash, because that's the money that I had from our business that I took out the safe, that I had put it in a safe place, because I found out that he took money to file a divorce. So I took the remaining of the cash. Yeah. So that happened. I had 2 restraining orders on me. I went to court. I got everything dropped, everything dismissed and all of that. But what led to the real estate, like I said, moved past in that, I was depressed for 3 months because I did not have my children. Yeah. I did not have my children. So I was depressed. And the Lord spoke to me in a dream, and he told me to get up. He said, get up, you fight for your children. He said, if you walk, I walk, but I need you to walk first. I need you to trust me, and I need you to believe in me. And if you believe in me, I need you also to believe in yourself, that you can make this happen. So I didn't have my real estate books because he took it. Mm-hmm. So I was doing something on the internet, and I seen a thing with like an advertisement with Teresa Todd. It was $27. Mind you, I only had this money. I was scared to invest in my real estate career.
Mm-hmm. Because that's all you had. Right?
That's all I had, my $20,000. But I was like, I'm not putting this into that. I need a lawyer to get me out of this crap that I'm in. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, I took the $27 course. It was for a week. And then I just started going on the internet and researching wholesaling. And
okay, so the course is all about wholesaling. Is that what I'm understanding?
The course was all about, it was about wholesaling. It was about investing. It was about a lot of different things. It was probably about 7 different things in one, but they focused mainly on wholesaling.
Got it. All right. So then you took massive action and you started doing stuff. And what happened there?
I started doing things, and then it was prophesied over me last year by my bishop, and he said that the Lord is going to give you real estate and you're not going to need a license. You do not need a license to do this. All so right. I was like, wow, that was confirmation of what I'm doing already.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's what everybody was talking about. You can do real estate without a license, other people money and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So that's where I massively, went hard and doing self-learning. And so I did take a little bit of money and I hired a VA and I started doing having a VA and I was buying lists and then I bought a little bit into Jerry Norton thing because he said if you spend $1,000, you find a property, he'll give you $10,000. So I did that, but then when you buy into stuff like that, you got to keep buying, keep buying. But like I said, I was a little bit afraid
Yeah. Because that was
because
your nest egg, right?
that was my nest egg, and I did not know what the criminal charges what they were entailed, and I
Yeah.
was afraid.
Mhm.
So I just took what I just went to the internet. I'm very knowledgeable, when it comes to YouTube and stuff like that. So I just took that. I started taking notes, and I just started taking massive action, with
So talk to me about the massive action for finding deals and finding leads. So first of all, hats off to you for getting out of that situation, that the mindset that you must have been in throughout this whole ordeal, taking action, seeing some success, keeping things rolling, trying to get that part under control, but still taking action. So what kind of things were you doing to find deals and do this wholesaling business throughout all that?
So at that time, I just started networking.
Mm,
So I started networking because I still did not understand certain things and like the format of the contracts and stuff like that.
yeah.
So I did hire, like I said, I did hire a VA because that's
Mhm.
what I was told. But I'm like, it's like almost like the blind leading the blind because the VA asking me, but the VA told me, they said, well, they'll tell you that their resume is good and they know how to do this. So really, I'm just following what the VA was doing. So I didn't know what the heck I was doing.
Yeah.
So I know. So
Did the
I'm just
VA know what they were doing?
no, I ain't getting no deals from
All right. So I'm
no.
assuming the VA went out the window fairly soon.
I kept them for about from. I'm be honest with you, I had them probably from August until maybe December.
Yeah.
Kept him, but it wasn't that he wasn't being paid that much. It was maybe like $75 a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it and he was doing maybe 20 hours or 25 hours for me of cold calling. And then I had the system called Mojo Dialer. So
Mm,
he was doing the calling and I was doing the calling and I just was repeating stuff that I was hearing off of that. So I did that, but then I didn't really, like I said, I didn't understand the concept. So what I did was me and my uncle went out to Walmart one day and I seen one of them billboard, no, not billboard, but one of them bandit signs.
yeah.
And I called the number and it was a investment group out here called NWAC and they specialize in door knocking.
Okay.
So I joined their club, which was like, so I had my mom, I talked her into giving me like $1,000 to join. And then the membership was like 125. So I was like, okay, I still have my credit cards left that
Yeah.
the ones that my ex-husband didn't shut off, the ones that were in my name. So what I was doing was I was paying I was paying for the membership, the 125, but I was robbing Peter to pay Paul because I was
Yeah.
taking one credit card to pay the other credit card and just doing bouncing back and forth.
I hear. I hear.
Just to
I've
be
been
a part
there.
of the club.
I've been there. It's been a while, but I've been there. I
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
you're talking about.
So
Yeah.
I was doing that just to be a part of your club. And then so once all of that went through and I just was learning off of them.
So
So I
door
just
knocking. So define, what does that actually mean? What were you doing?
I was going to they started training us going to notice a default. So people that were in default.
And you'd actually
Um
go to their home and knock on the door.
you can actually go to your home and knock on a door.
Mhm.
And I started off with that. And then they showed us some different techniques through different programs,
Yeah.
property radar and stuff like that. And instead of me doing the notice a default, I was doing the notice a trustee sale. So these people had to be out like in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. So much more
So
motivated.
exactly. And then the state of California also had this program called it's not a it's not the loan modification, but it's like Save Your Home California, where they
Yeah.
can get like up to $100,000.
Yeah.
So I actually, but by Christmas time, I saved 5 people homes. I didn't
Wow.
make any money because I didn't know that in the background, the club, they were making money off of the loan modifications.
Mm.
If the people got accepted. So I didn't, so because I'm trying to figure out how the heck is these people making money if you just doing nothing but saving people homes? That don't make sense to me. So I'm like, okay, you guys got to be doing something different than this. I'm about to quit because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Christmas time and I'm down to the bare, bare
So
any.
you're busting your butt, but you're still not making any money.
Correct.
Wow. Okay. And
Correct.
that's Christmas time of what, 2022, last year?
Yeah.
Okay. So then how did you turn it around, Shauntae?
So then I met someone else, another guy, and he's like, "Oh, my program is like $2,000. I mean, $10,000." And I'm like, "But dude, I really don't have any money to invest." And he was like, "But I can get you your first deal and this, that, and the third."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I did that, and he did help me and get me my first deal, but I only made like $1,000, and then he wants like half of it, and I'm like, "That's
Jeez.
how's that gonna work?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, wow.
So I just started and so what I did was, again, it was another challenge on the internet. It was with Pace Morby. He was doing the elephant challenge. And
Mhm.
the challenge was that we find multifamily properties, and these were larger paychecks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I joined the challenge and I started working with other people, and I learned how to do multifamily, and I learned how to underwrite multifamily, but then we wasn't making any money.
Mhm.
So what happened was, like, five of us women, we got together because we figured out they were just taking our deals and we didn't know what the heck they were doing with the deals.
Yeah.
So we just got together and we formed our own group. And our own group, it was five of us, but honestly, only two of us was working, which is myself and my partner.
Yeah.
Um, and at that point, this was maybe about February. I started following
February of this year.
February of this year.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
I started following Jamil Damji,
Uh-huh.
and which he's one of the largest wholesalers now.
Okay.
I started following him and I got with another guy, and I told him my testimony and I told him my story. And the guy, he paid $10,000 and paid for my membership to Jamil Damji.
Wow.
That's how I got into wholesaling and being direct to agent. So
Okay, so
right,
explain, so direct to agent, what does that mean?
so it's just like cold calling, but you're cold calling agents, and you're cold calling agents that already have the properties.
So they got listed properties.
They got listed properties, correct.
And what are you
So
trying to do with cold calling them to do what?
so just to make offers. So basically what I'll the properties that are listed 90 days or more,
Okay.
I do my research at night. So I have a software called Privy.
Mhm.
I pull up all the fix and flip properties that are 90 days or more on Privy. I download my list. I have a dialer that I actually use, which is called the Astro Blaster. It's a text messaging system, and I put all of my leads after I put them all together. I put all my leads in there, and I do a blast text messaging.
Mhm.
And I just basically say, "This is my name is Shauntae. I'm looking for my new investment, and I'm looking to purchase your property. I'm interested in it. Could you give me a little bit more details?" And I see that they're try to see what the motivation is, basically. See what the motivation is
Going through the agent though.
going through the agent.
Okay.
Correct. So the he teaches what he teaches us is to do it's kind of like micro flipping,
Yeah.
where we're not getting large wholesale fees. We're getting small wholesale fees, but we're getting them in a large quantity.
Mhm.
So where you can do anywhere between 10 to 20 deals a month by just going to the agent and speaking to them, and then eventually you're going to build a relationship with that agent, and then they're going to start bringing you off market properties.
So
So,
explain how this works with the on-market properties. How do you make any money off of that, Shantae? I'm curious. I've never heard this before, so this is kind of cool. So how does it work? How do you
so let's just say you have a property listed at 123 Main Street for $90,000.
Okay, so this is
Um,
not in California, I'm assuming. You're doing
yeah,
a
I'm doing a lot of most of my. I just came back to California, but most of my real estate is in Atlanta, Georgia.
got it.
It's in Detroit, Michigan. It's
Mhm.
in Florida and Philadelphia.
Got it. Okay. Got it.
California
Different
is
markets. All right. So $90,000 property. It's been on the market for 90 days.
right.
Yeah. Then what?
And it's been on the market for over 90 days. And where so I just call them and I find out the motivation of the motivation of the seller and find out the reason why it's been sitting there. Some people just sitting there because that's what they want and this, that, and the third. So I find out basically what the reason that that's still sitting. And what I do is if it's been on the market since over 90 days, I'll offer them 50% off. So if there's
So 45,000, you're making
45,000
a low
and then
ball offer. Yeah.
right. And then I'll go try to sell it to the buyer for 50,000.
Okay. So you'll only do the deal if they'll drop it by 50%. Is that what I'm understanding?
I will do it depending on the property. I'll do it a little less than that. I won't do it. I'll do it at least $25,000 under the sell price.
Okay. All right. Got it.
So it all
Then,
depends on the buyer
and then you'll flip that to a
and buyer.
flipper, an end buyer. You'll wholesale. I don't even know what you do. So how are you getting that? You're getting that under contract, then you're selling the contract just like a wholesale deal
Yes,
to the end
I'm
buyer.
signing a contract to the end buyer.
Got
So
it.
the larger the profit, the larger the profit, then what we'll do is a double close.
Mm-hmm.
So like the off market properties, it's easier to do that. But the on market properties, I'll let the realtor know, hey, I'm a wholesaler. I work with hedge funds and a lot of end buyers. They're looking for properties like yours, and I'm basically the acquisitions director of my company.
Mm-hmm.
So give them the whole spill, this, that, and the third. Give them, and
Yep.
you know,
And tied
and
up that way. And then
kind
so
of that way.
what would you say you're averaging as a fee on per deal on these kind of properties?
$5,000 to $10,000.
Nice. Well, that's not far off from most wholesale fees from my
No.
experience or what I'm aware of. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah, five to
So
$10,000, and some of them it might be a short. So it depends. Like I said, it all depends on the deal and depends on the seller. Some people they don't want to come down on it, but they don't really want to come down on it. What I'll actually do, if I'm trusting the buyer, I'll give them the property and I say, hey, I'm getting this under contract. Would you be interested in this property at 80,000? Oh yeah, I'll buy it from you at 80,000. So then I'll go back to the real estate agent and say, hey, will your seller be interested in selling this to me for $75,000? And then
yeah.
we'll do it that way. Because sometimes these big flippers, they don't have time to be on the MLS looking for properties. If anything, they'll pick them up the first day or two that they get on there. But then after that, if the people are not interested in their pricing, they say forget
They're
about
on to
it.
the next one. Yeah. But you're spending more time, you're negotiating, you're creating that relationship. Very cool, Shauntae. So when would you say was that you got dialed in on doing it this way? How many months ago?
Probably about April.
April. All right. So you've been doing this pretty seriously since April. Just give us an idea. What kind of volume of calls are you doing a week? And what does that lead to? Or what volume of calls are you doing a month? And more or less, how many calls does it take to actually kind of do a deal on average? I know it's different all over the place.
So because of the different challenges and the guy Jamil and Pace, they're big time people. So because of the different challenges that they recently ran and stuff like that is a bit hard. It's currently hard right now. So, but the calls that I'm making is at least with the dollar that we have, we can only do, I want to say about 100 a day. So out of 100, I'm only getting maybe about 10 people will respond back. Out of 10 people that responds back, normally one I'll be able to add to my listing of realtors that I'm able to deal. Because right now I send out when I say cold calling, I send out blast text messages to realtors that may or may not have a listing. Right. So I'll get a listing of it's 5,000 realtors in California. I'm going to send out text messages to 100 every day until I get me a realtor that's going to join my team to send me on or off market properties. Then I also send out, I do this every Sunday. I'll look for 50 properties that's on the MLS and I'll blast those realtors and try to get those properties under my belt.
So you're doing a two-prong approach. You're approaching realtors cold en masse, just like
Right.
realtors, and then you're finding properties that fit your parameters and blasting those realtors, but that's one day a week. That's
Correct.
Got it.
Because
Okay.
that's very time consuming.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's very time. You gotta.
That's where the VA might be handy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's very time consuming, and right now it's just me and my business partner.
Got it.
So it's just the two of us. We try to add other people to the team, but we have not been able to find anybody with integrity. So if we can't find anybody with integrity, we got to cut you loose. And you don't know that we're cutting you loose until you know.
Until you're loose.
Yeah, until you're loose. Exactly.
You've been let loose.
Yeah.
Shauntae, we got to wrap things up. Time flies. If people would like to connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
The best way to connect with me is via email, and via text messaging, as well as Facebook. You can find me on Facebook at Shauntae Williams. You can find me, my email is Shauntae at morepreciousthanjewels.net. And my cell phone is 951-380-0808.
Fantastic. Shauntae, congratulations on working through something that would have broken a lot of other people, but you've come out the other side and you're stronger than ever. And I wish you much, much, much continued success. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, everybody, take care. We'll see you on the next episode. Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewyou.com. Now at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.